I'm excited for that. Oh my gosh!
Generic intro into that goes. We're here back with another Death Battle reaction. Today we're doing Kratos versus Asura, which is God of War versus Asura's Wrath. Games I'm never played before, I'm not familiar with at all. I don't think you're familiar with them at all, but I'm reacting to this for the very first time.
I am.
How and I don't even know. You can check out our reaction to the last one, which was Fall Guys versus Among Us.
Yeah.
I'll leave that reaction over there in the top corner, also linked down below in the description, and a playlist on the channel with all the other Death Battle reactions. You want to find her on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can find her at
Kirby's Universe.
Might be linked down below in the description. It'll definitely be on the screen as well once the video begins, but I don't know how in the world you're familiar with either of these. I'm not familiar with them at all. This is a longer Death Battle, I believe.
God of War is?
I know what I've heard of it, but it's on PlayStation.
Yeah. I used to have one.
I've never had one. So I'm going to this completely blind. I might play through God of War at some point. I'm playing through Crash Bandicoot right now on Saturdays, which is a really fun time right now. But my current record is 94-60, and her current record is 1-0, as we both got the last one right with Fall Guys versus Among Us. But I need to show our Bowser versus Eggman because that one is just goated. But let's go ahead and jump to Kratos versus Asura. Asura. This was animated by Devil Artemis, who's just goated. I think he said it was like a 9-minute long death battle
versus Asura.
The ghost of
Asura,
Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor.
Asura.
Because sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Dude, it's been so long.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I got you. Let me know.
In the beginning, the primordial
people wanted her in videos now.
In the beginning, there was
a series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Sorry to start quoting the Bible.
Now that's what I call a
Book
big
of Genesis.
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus' strikes,
know your
the
Bible.
stars
I was
would
in Awana, come on now.
and
Me
so
too.
forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Yeah.
Starting the whole messy
What's a
cycle,
barbarian?
Uranus was
Wait,
overthrown
What's
by
a barbarian?
his Titan son Kronos, who was overthrown by his Olympian
Non-Roman
son
said Romans,
Zeus,
yeah, by
who
non-Romans.
battled his own son Kratos.
As a classic bastard,
7-8.
Kratos was left
Tall.
among Spartan mortals,
Tall boy.
far exceeding all among him.
All of
Trade him for
Fierce
Luca.
warrior, winning many a battle until finally cornered by ruthless
sliding
barbarians.
puzzles.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was
Oh,
joined
that's
at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain
Wait, at the
swords
bone?
and basically a badass whirlwind of flaming steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family.
Hate when that happens.
Permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter.
Oof.
He was, forevermore, the ghost of Sparta.
So he was kind of understandably really pissed off. Time for a new
I might play
God
through
of
the God of War
War.
games at some point in the
Guys
future.
were crapping their togas in fear as the new God of War took out his
I would
rage
too.
on all of them.
I would
And
too.
got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings, Kratos
Okay.
dominated both sea and sky. He also has a tendency to carry
Fly?
full severed heads, like Medusa.
He's got
And the claws of Hades could steal
The Norse.
souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules
You've never
were a match
studied
for Kratos.
old mythology and
No.
religions
Helios,
and cultures?
the sun god
No.
capable of moving stars and spreading light
I
across
do.
the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan
I'm
of
Nordic.
strength,
Of
who
course I
broke
know
the
this.
load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos
What?
forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And
Ah,
he can
that's
do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the
Wasn't
guy
Kronos
who
in Death
overthrew
Battle?
the primordial that punched the universe into existence.
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light. A frankly incomprehensible feat.
That's
Then
fast.
there's Daddy Zeus.
Who proved a serious challenge.
Daddy
until
Zeus.
Kratos drew perhaps
I mean-
his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
He's probably into it.
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and can pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even when
Aw.
Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a
Oh,
badass,
okay.
he was unstoppable. Non-stop
Get rid of
killing
it.
and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone.
Yeah.
What was he?
No amount of
to do?
killing's gonna bring him back, right?
No, he wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Good for you,
Kratos
bro.
had a new lease on life. but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially
What,
after
a
new
Faye
kid?
unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time.
Oh yeah,
Unless
the
it was.
burning, the burning of the
keep
body.
the boy safe, including the Leviathan axe.
Far from
That's
the
a sick
whirling
name.
rage of the blades of
Leviathan
chaos,
axe.
the Leviathan axe was deliberate
Yes.
and mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
The
Oh.
whole wishes Mjolnir was as cool as
Against
this
Thor?
axe. It's imbued
Yeah.
with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can
Huh?
be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters
Bro,
souls.
7'8", he
Kratos
looks
may
small
have
compared to
once
that
been a
guy.
sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new
Yeah.
purpose, he stood as a shield against the
Get
godly
into
Asura.
it.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he
Yeah.
knew how to
Dude,
control
he's
his
got
anger.
Which
uppercutted.
is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
Oh,
He
Super
can even
Saiyan,
get
cool.
so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like
Adrenaline.
the opposite of what should
Yang?
happen.
Not all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons
Yang,
and
question
relics
mark?
to channel his rage
Yeah.
through.
Like
Maybe.
the Draupnir ring,
The
which
ruby
can
tattoo.
summon a bunch of wind spears.
There's ruby
He
death
can absorb
battles.
all
They're
types
my
of
favorite.
energy and blast it back. He
There's
even
ruby
has
death
relics
battles.
and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested
Slow
with
down
the
time?
strongest
What?
of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder, Thor,
Ah,
who was
oh,
powerful enough to
Mjolnir,
fight the
obviously.
fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
What?
Oh.
And that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat
Oh.
me, Thor.
But he
I
can.
know, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
can.
Well,
Oh, that's
not
who that is?
exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for
There's
a
a rain
considerable
god?
time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the world tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence
We just did
supports
animation
all
versus
of creation
physics.
among its boughs. Every
This is
strand,
mythology.
transcending time, transcending space.
This is my thing now, okay?
Everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to free
Isn't
the
every
Norse
house a
world,
treehouse if
Kratos
we're on the
reclaimed
tree?
old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the blade of
Shovel
Olympus
Knight?
once again.
Even better, he actually
And
got to
Odin?
be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos made a lifetime of mistakes.
What?
But this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past. Not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender. A god
Yes, sir.
of hope.
Okay, ballad,
This
ballad.
battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
With
Gold.
Robinhood Gold,
Robinhood
you can now
Gold.
enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3%
Very
IRA
interesting
match
so
on
far.
retirement contributions.
I
The
think
privileges of the very
think this is like a
privileged are no
9-minute
longer
fight, which is
exclusive.
nuts,
With
'cause
Robin
Devil
Hood Gold,
Artemis.
your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%.
Plus, you also get 4% APY on your
We
cash
don't-
in non-retirement
Yeah,
accounts.
we don't have
That's over
traditional
8
IRAs.
times the national
Wait,
savings average.
We don't have
The perks
traditional
of the high
IRAs.
net worth are now available for any
Roth
member.
IRAs.
The new
Woo.
gold standard is here with Robin
I don't think
Hood
Robinhood
Gold.
does Roth
To
IRAs.
receive your 3%
Contracting.
boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. Rates
Oh.
subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at
I just
$5 a
realized
month
I
for
have
1
one of
year
those
for
things
first
across
match
from
and
one of
must
my
keep
jobs.
funds in IRA for 5 years.
It might be a
Go to
different bank.
Robinhood.com/boost.
There's a
Over
two
8
different
times
ones.
the national average
I
savings
know,
account interest
but
rate
still,
claim is
I was
based on
just
data from
looking
the
at it like,
FDIC
oh,
as
wait.
of November 18th, 2024.
They're actually
Robinhood
reading up the
Financial
fine
LLC,
print.
member SIPC.
Like, and it's not
Gold
sped up.
membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Good for you.
Long ago, a demigod fell
And this
from the
is
heavens,
Asura.
only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod of wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7
Sure,
other
he's
demigod
old.
generals,
28.
Asura served as
12,000
the
years
defender of
old,
humanity
28
against the
physically.
impure Goma, dark spirit
Put him in Marvel
monsters
vs. Capcom.
infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you
Man,
one chance.
dude,
to
his
guess
eyes are
what
crazy.
Asura's is.
By
Rage?
tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many
thing.
forms for battle, like the 6-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet.
That's
Of course,
not
since he's literally
boding well
powered
for him
by
in this.
wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Right.
What's that scene from?
Ah, damn it.
First
Star
off,
Wars?
Asura is not some one-dimensional
Oh, it is?
anger
That's
machine.
right. I know it's a
Admit,
meme.
the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but
The
not
fact that you
inherently
guessed
evil,
that.
just like Asura himself. He's a
The fact that you
warrior,
had to
but
guess
also
it.
a husband with a daughter,
That is Padme and
And
Anakin.
Mithra has the unique
Really?
power to
Yes.
supercharge mantra energy.
which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't
Dude,
gonna
he
go
looks like
along
Groot.
with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What
Oh.
a dick.
But true
Yeah,
to his nature,
agreed.
Asura was literally too angry to die. So long
Yep.
as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb
Wait,
back
what?
out of Naraka, a sort of limbo
single
underworld
part of
between
his
life and death.
body?
Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider,
Oh.
he did
Fine.
just that with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make
Is that
the
like
gods pay?
the
Oh yeah, they're calling
Dragon Ball?
themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really pissed off.
He's always
Through his
pissed
rage,
off.
Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could
Oh.
dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger. Look at
What?
this.
Asura is so powerful,
Okay,
his
well-
soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his fists to break steel,
What?
fire explosive energy blasts.
And
He has
headbutt
ki?
you so hard you wish
I
you
guess
could
it's mantra,
die
but-
even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes.
Oh.
And when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's
mean
vengeance quest wasn't
overheating?
all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot.
It
of
gets
that,
toasty.
But he also tried to
but
protect
still.
people from the
It
gods,
gets hot,
including
okay.
a girl who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid. Like that
Oh.
one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then
Don't
the
be that
gods
dad.
killed that
Don't be that
girl,
dad,
too,
please, guys.
along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash.
well, maybe
his
he has robotic
berserker
arms.
aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing
His
thousands
what
of people
aura?
to power up? Well,
Berserk.
Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years.
What?
Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet even in berserker mode, Asura never lost.
When you're in an
total
anger
control.
competition and
Berserker
your opponent is
has
Asura.
even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high even he couldn't contain it, scorching him
That's a
into
lot of
his
transformations.
wrath form.
Even though it hurts
Planet
Asura while he's
sized?
in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw
But-
the error of the D's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros
Did they
again.
need to team up
Just in
for
time
this?
for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst. Then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra form, finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
What?
Deus
Whoa.
was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop.
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire
I think you messed up my
universe.
recording software again.
Everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir.
Every time.
Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it. That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter
And
the mantra
who won?
reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all,
the recording software
his
screwing up. That's gonna be fun to fix.
Larger than a planet.
Every time.
I didn't do it.
Every
It wasn't
time.
me.
It only happens with you.
Effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planets
Larger than nebulas?
2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars.
Chakravartin was understandably impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into
Fought Akuma?
Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking
870
ass,
million
smack a
years.
random thug, a meteor, or Ryu. Right in the
Ryu?
balls.
It's interesting.
Why?
Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything. All because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a
Good on
plot
him.
I can get
Good.
behind.
Good fatherly.
This
Good
is
fatherly
sponsored
instinct.
by
Prize Picks, wow.
The best place to get real money
No,
sports
just
action. With over 10
the,
million members and billions
the
of
ad
bucks in
placements.
award winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy
Lord.
sports
I guess it's
accessible to
perfect timing with the
everyone.
Super Bowl
It's
being
simple.
right around
All
the
you have
corner.
to do is pick more or
This will
less
probably
than
out
two
after the
players
Super
for a
Bowl.
shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash.
And when you want to find non-standard options that are harder or easier to win,
Every
just
time
look
we
for the little
record,
goblins.
my editing
Those
software
little
screws
guys.
up for
The
you.
big game
wasn't
is almost
me.
here, so
It
don't
only
miss out
happens
on the
with you.
last football
It's
game of the
because you
season
brought it
with
up.
Prize Picks. Prize Picks
It's
is
because you
even
brought it
giving
up.
away a free
'Cause it was
pick
doing
for
fine
the
until you
game.
brought it up.
To win, one of the starting quarterbacks only needs to throw 1 yard.
But what if they don't?
Sorry?
Don't throw 1
What if
yard.
they only
Throw
it half a
hands.
yard?
Then they wouldn't be in the big game.
You can't get half
Oh,
a
yeah.
yard.
Good point.
They could pull Aaron Rodgers'
first
first game with the Jets.
Instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
Played what?
Yep, if you
4
download
downs?
the app and use
3
code
downs?
DEATH, you'll get $50
Code
after
DEATH.
your first $5 lineup.
Yeah.
Prize Picks. Run your game.
Lord. This is gonna be a long fight.
All right, the combatants are set.
Oh,
and we
God.
run the data through all possibilities.
My current record is 94 and 60. Hers is 1 and 0.
Oh!
I'm gonna go with Kratos. Who are you going with?
Pause it. Pause
No,
it.
we don't pause
I
it.
want to think. I
You
need
have
a,
time.
I need a
It's
moment
a
to think.
9-minute
Woo!
death battle. I'm picking Kratos. Blender animation.
You know, I'm just gonna go opposite of you. I'm going Asura.
Okay, fine then. Enemies, I guess. Also, they're both just, like, angry dads. They're just protective fathers.
Okay.
Oh. What in the world are
What are
those
those?
guys?
The heck?
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But not for long.
But,
Do not want this fight.
no, he's angry, but... Here's the thing, Asura can, like, get up to, like, planet size, and, you know, fight things like a whole universes or whatever, and so can Kratos. Didn't they both take on things that were, like, holding up the universe?
Yeah.
I gotta show you Bowser versus Eggman. That might be just like a random upload between now and the next one. I don't know what the next death battle's gonna be. The quick time event. He missed the quick time
Oh,
event.
because he's only at the 6th armed. He's got like 4 other
I believe that
transformations.
I believe the rule of Death Battle is the first one to transform loses.
Really?
That's like a general rule, I believe.
You let
If
your
they have
wrath
multiple
consume
forms.
you. I have been down that road before. Shut up!
You are assuming and you don't know.
And we read all your comments, so let me know if you agree or disagree with whatever the result is. They're not doing a whole lot of damage to each other. They're more or less just destroying everything
A
around
building,
them.
yeah.
That's a lot of hands.
Next form.
Okay, Shigaraki. Wait, did he lose his arms? He'll be back.
Man's ain't got no arms. Oh, there it is. The wrath makes him heal. Oh,
Well, as long as any of him exists, he can come back. Okay, well,
you made her cry.
new setting. Oh, it has ice magic in the Leviathan axe.
It's wrath. Of course, the fire is gonna melt it.
This is not my end!
Kratos is keeping kind of cool right now. Ah, that's the planet size thing.
Okay.
Flex tape can't fix that.
Oh no. You gonna stand your ground in that, sir?
And Grin, that was actually kind of nuts.
You're crazy.
The detail on his beard.
Oh yeah, because he's been able to hold things.
Well,
up
he's
with
able
the
to
one
look at his hand.
with the one hand thing.
Was that him or is that what he could fight?
Death has not earned me yet, Titan!
That line goes hard. Death has not earned me yet.
But you deserve a world!
Okay, I didn't know that that was possible. I kind of want to change my answer now.
Nope, can't. Don't worry, there's been multiple times I'll watch a death battle where they like leave out really important information. I'm
Like, that would have been a great key detail to know. Is that he can just make swords any size he wants.
It's his,
You could have told me that.
oh, what is it called?
I have lost.
Maybe
I feel
maybe
like
not.
I have lost. I can feel it in my soul.
Does Kratos have unlimited blade works?
I guess, if they're like infinite.
No, you don't get the reference.
You
Fate Stay Night
are a
unlimited blade
monster
works.
no longer. I never was.
How are you talking? But he can come back if any part of him still, like, exists, right?
I mean, yeah.
Huh, I guess we're just leaving the sword there.
I have lost.
Don't count it out yet. Don't.
Come back.
Don't.
Come back. Come back.
You never know.
Come back.
There's been multiple times like,
Do
I
it.
won, and then I lost. Nope, you lost. 95 and 60, you're 1
Dang
and
it!
1. Let's go.
Really is gone. But are we sure
Wait,
this
what
is
are
how
you?
it'd go?
95 and
Freaking
60.
blow up Stars?
Asura had some
Going in
amazing
blind,
displays
not knowing
of
any of the characters,
apocalyptic
really.
Destruction. But
Well,
the full scope of their speed,
I didn't know
experience, versatility,
anything
and power sheds
about
a surprising
Asura
light.
before
At
I got
first
into
glance,
this.
speed seems
So,
like
I
like,
don't know anything about either.
Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't.
Most of the time, I don't
As
know
usual,
anything about
we look
either.
at these
reason
characters
I didn't go with
heat,
Kratos
free
because
from
in
gameplay
actual
restrictions.
mythology,
Yeah, we're
he's
looking at
nowhere
everything
near
in
the
canon,
strongest.
and Kratos fought and
Huh?
killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud
That's not
everything.
canon.
His light was fast enough to illuminate
Well,
the
to the game
entire
probably
underworld
is.
Yeah, to the
while
game
Kratos
it's
got
canon.
through it, taking a few hours at most.
Actual mythology?
Kind of hard to quantify, but that's consistent with
Kinda
the
questionable.
shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster.
Do you
the
agree or
primordial
disagree?
Shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close,
Oh my
it's
God.
safe to assume their speeds are generally even.
But what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it?
Speed matters
Let's
a lot,
cover
regardless.
experience. Asura lived across centuries, obviously
Yeah.
a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura easily takes experience. But when
Yeah.
it comes to versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite
Yeah,
skilled
the
and a
abilities
monster
I wasn't
martial
told
artist, but his
about.
fighting style
Well,
mostly
some of it.
relies on
I-
one thing.
A whole lot
I
of
feel like I have been
Kratos'
blindsided.
weapons, magic,
He does have
runes,
weapons
relics,
and
even
magic,
his
yeah.
rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and
Forgot about that. They did
most
mention I said
importantly,
something about
multiple
that.
weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah,
Oh.
when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him. So the
That's
Draupnir
why-
spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos
That's what I
exactly what he
missed.
needed.
There's a limited
Versatility
blade works.
And multiple ways to finish this for good.
His
before
noble
Asura
phantasm.
comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
Yep.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do. If this
I
came
mean-
down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a
Would
closer
he?
examination of their feats reveals the truth.
Their
At his
feet?
peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it
Huh?
out to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue,
Oh
we can
my
determine
What
Lord.
the
that
heck?
in the density of gold, for good
It's
measure
the
assumed
size
before
of
we
a
saw it
galaxy.
out, and
And
its
it's
mass
gold.
far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Huh?
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely
That's fine.
impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of ages.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is obviously
Ragnarok
a bit
is
of
the
a
ending
different
of the
beast
world.
than
Yes.
Kratos, but what really
I saw Thor
matters
Ragnarok.
is what Freyr did.
Kratos held back Ragnarok's power.
I didn't
for
watch the first Thor
significant
movie.
time.
I saw the
So
second and
Kratos
third, and
should
that's
be
it.
capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's
Okay.
almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction.
We're getting to some
And this
hypotheticals
isn't
here a
some
little
one-off
bit.
outlier. I mean,
That's
a
crazy.
realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him.
Yeah, that's-
Kronos
it wasn't
defeated
Kratos
the
that could hold it
creator
all.
of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath 2, we'll try this again.
What do you mean
That'd
two?
be
Like there's only been one?
Asura's The Sun Rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner
Oh.
is Kratos.
Kratos. Oh my god.
Wow.
But what if?
What do you mean, what if? Alternate ending? What? What?
Him coming back. Coming
Yeah.
back.
That's like a weird
Come on, I couldn't have gotten that! You couldn't have given me that? See, that's what should have happened.
Well,
That's what should have happened.
the comments might agree with you. Who knows? How many times do you have to mash the button?
A lot. Bye-bye.
He sent him to join his family. Oh, he actually did. no.
Ben!
Oh no.
Literally sent him to his death. That's what should have happened.
Same day shipping.
And that concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end. Next time on...
What's the next one?
Metal.
What's the next one gonna be? What is this? Is that Ghost Rider?
Oh my
Subscribe and
gosh!
join us if
Oh,
you
versus
want to see
Spawn.
more Death Battle.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Okay,
Oh,
that might be
No, I
interesting.
love Ghost Rider. It's one of my favorite.
I have seen that movie.
It is one of my favorite
versus
heroes.
Spawn. Has Spawn
Like
been in
superheroes.
that battle? Or maybe it was 1 minute melee. I'm not really sure. I react to a couple 1 minute melees. So I'm 95 and 60. You're 1 and 1. I need to
I'll
show
get better
her.
next time.
I need to show her like some of my previous death battles that are my favorite, like Bowser versus Eggman. Maybe some of the Ruby ones. She literally has a Ruby tattoo.
I do.
It was actually one of your first tattoos, I believe.
No.
Was it? It was one of your
First,
first.
second, and then I
Oh,
got
God.
these 3 in the same session.
Lord.
Wild. And
Yeah, I introduced you to Ruby, didn't I?
you did.
Check her on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen as well. She also has a YouTube channel that she posts on there, which I'm trying to actually grow that up. That'd be kind of cool. But this is a longer death battle. It went hard. I'm not sure. I feel like they kind of took some liberties here and there with some things, because when you're talking to things of this, like when you're talking about quintillions of light speed, get a little bit crazy. Like
Quadrillions.
like a rounding error at that point is like pretty big.
It's a big number.
But the last one was Among Us versus Fall Guys.
That's
Is good. Oh, Omni-Man versus Bard. I can show that one out. There's Mikasa versus Blake. You haven't finished Attack on Titan yet. Need to finish it. You and her. But this is a good death battle. I guess she's going to be in death battles with me from now on. We're not skipping the next
Hi.
one, so it's going to be a thing. People
I'm back.
wanted her knees, so be on the lookout
I'm
for
into something else now.
yeah, so be on the lookout for sporadic death battle reactions with her, where I'm going to show her some of my favorite ones. We look forward to reading your comments. We read every single one of them. Shout out to the patrons. I could not do this if it was not for the patrons. Literally, I mean that. So hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. But until next video, take care and keep the music.